Okay, okay, I can do this. It's only been like 2 months. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. As you saw in the title card, this is going to be a cartoon conspiracy. I'm sorry about my math flaps not matching up. There was a problem with the video. So I'm going to pretend that it's because I did it on purpose to reenact anime and their usual dubbing. Yeah. Now, today, I'm going to be talking about the Disney Princess franchise. Yes, yes, I know. But I'm also talking about how this is going to be a new era, not even just for franchisees, but also for another little bubbly princess on TV who's been the center of my last two videos, Star Butterfly, and what is teaching girls. And I know that the franchise has been trying to reinvent itself this last few years. Really do not like the redesigns. And trying to signify what does it mean to be a princess. Also trying to explain why they justify Mulan being there instead of being her own awesome character. And the thing is, from the last few films, we're now counting Frozen. No! From Merida and Brave to Star Butterfly to even Moana, we are actually seeing what an actual princess does. And I know Moana claims that she is the daughter of a chief, but like Maui said, if you have an animal companion, she has two, wears a dress, and she sings, she's pretty much a Disney princess. So, looking through everything, all three princesses are trained in, for better or worse, diplomacy. They are trained in taking care of their people, any problems that may arise, and they know that their prince is everything because of what the people expect of their relevant queens in the future. The key word here is queens, because not only are these three princesses subtly breaking away from the role that Disney princesses are supposed to be very cute and only have their own things to do around the castle, these girls are going to be rulers one day. And I know we said no Frozen, but Elsa actually broke the queen glass ceiling by being the first Disney princess to be crowned queen and respected for her power instead of being feared. Now, that being said, our three princesses that I mentioned are on different ends of the spectrum on how they deal with their responsibilities. Merida, she's in the middle. She is being taught by her mother, groomed by her mother into being a not really perfect per se, but a responsible queen. And while she complains that every day of her life is ruled by her mother, that's pretty much how regular princesses were usually taught back then. Now, I've been listening to a bunch of podcasts from Stuff You Should Know and the History Chicks. Check them out. All of them on princesses. And that's also one of the reasons why I made this, but whatever. And I was listening to some from Queen Victoria, Princess Charlotte, and Marie Antoinette. Now, listening to those, their mothers were heavily in charge of ruling the kingdom and taking care of their children. Marriage to the perfect person, political wise, was everything. Political move, they wouldn't have seen their parents again. Their children usually get letters. Princess Charlotte, unfortunately, was dumped off by her dad, but a lot of political moves were in play. So that actually reflected with Merida and her wish not to get married, and yet, besides tradition, as her mother clearly states, that either way it was going to happen. She was going to have to get married for the good of her people, and it seems like they were applying that to the other heirs of the three different clans as well, because they didn't want to marry her, and yet they're being sent off to be introduced to this princess they've never seen before. And either way, Merida actually takes in what she's learning and uses it to prevent a four-way war, mind you, and actually starts to mature into being the princess and queen she's eventually going to be. On the other hand, her mother is learning to kind of loosen up and to listen to her daughter more often. Both of them needed to learn how to listen and how this is going to equate to regular life. Now, in the other end of the spectrum, the one who doesn't want to do it is Star Butterfly. And yes. She, in the last few episodes, has been very bratty. And the way that she deals with being queen, and I guess her mother never really explained what was going on, is to ignore it until it goes away. That doesn't work, and it actually deconstructs it, because doing that actually doesn't solve anything and actually makes things worse. Not to mention, she is shown to be, I guess, the type of queen that Princess Charlotte was. There, she did whatever she wanted. She really gives no regard for the other people, and even if it has to be close friends, she's never really done anything diplomatic, other than telling Romulus, you can't just go around crystallizing people. And I'm pretty sure she has ADHD or something, because she has a hard time staying focused and evidently learning spells. And I know from my previous theory that I said that Glossary may not have taught her. I'm thinking maybe that she may have jumped ahead to what she thought was awesome. I'm just saying, he may not have taught her, but at the same time, she may have taught herself and jumped ahead in the book. And that's why she can't do the simple stuff. Anyway, she's also shown that her mother actually pretty much does most of the stuff around the castle. We've seen her sign documents. She talks about the people a lot of times, what's good for the kingdom, and different traditions to be upheld. And I also have a theory that I'm going to go into later on, that essentially Moon is the perfect queen, and being a perfect princess does not equate to the perfect queen, because it means that you'd have to think for yourself and your people. You have to sign documents. So Miss Haynes' school would not have been, in the long run, would not have been good at creating perfect rulers of their kingdoms. It's more or less just to get rid of my daughters and go away. In fact, being such a reliable ruler, she's actually willing to fight not even for the safety of her own people, but anyone in her realm and the entire nation of magical communities. As she's more than willing to go to Ludo's family for diplomacy and fight out Ludo and Toffee and anything in war at any time, just to take things out. That is awesome. She is a badass. And a lot of queens were. Even if it was being a little sassy, or even, just handing out orders to people, or sometimes even going into battle themselves. And the last one, the one that's actually showing this positively, is Moana. Yes, we've all seen her being trained very competently to being the village chief. And unlike Merida and Star, she doesn't whine about it. After being told she can't go into the water, she decides, let me help my people. Let me be a competent ruler. Let me be involved in the community. Something that the other two princesses have not really done. Yes, we've seen them do their own things, but not really be mixed in with the community. But they're always being watched either way. And Moana, she's actually tried to. One of the reasons why she actually was about to go out into the reef was because she noticed her people were probably dying or going to die of starvation, since they can't get fish from in the reef, and their plants were dying, strangely, because of the curse. And we just have to say, she's the most competent. She actually traveled around the world to save her people, and indirectly a bunch of people from around the world, depending on whose islands haven't been eaten up yet by this curse, just to help. Of course, part of it was recklessness, but either way, she was the chosen one, and she did it. And in all three, young girls are learning, hey, being a princess is not all fun and games. We have responsibilities, and we have people to protect. We have duties that need to be done, but we can still have fun. Sound like the Cat in the Hat for a moment. And, most of all, something that I found nice, it actually separates them into a different group of their own, as the princesses who get stuff done. Yes, I know from the Disney Renaissance, a lot of the girls in that period got their stuff done, especially Mulan with the highest kill count, and Pocahontas supposedly stopping an all-out war. Supposedly. But it seemed they were only doing it for maybe one person in particular, although Mulan does have the highest body count, which I love. What I'm saying is, it's usually them trying to get their own way for one person in particular, or for Mulan, again, she was never really crowned a princess. She was almost married to a prince in the sequel, but we don't talk about that. And She was a soldier in the war. But once again, now unless we got Kita from Atlantis in the mix, she could be added to this group as well. And, well, that's my theory. Oh, one more thing. Another thing these three princesses have in common, they break Disney's rule of having their mothers alive. Yeah, especially since two of them, Merida and Star, their mothers are actually giving a helping hand in their training to let us know not all queens are evil. Take that, My Little Pony. Just kidding, I love you. And that they actually have their own statuses in the Disney continuity, which, aside from the kings, they're not shown doing anything, but they probably do. We just haven't seen it. Um, just saying, since Disney really didn't want to show a lot of moms in the films aside from source material because of his own mother's death, what she blamed himself, I actually like this little transition saying it's normal, it's okay, we get raised by whoever raises us. And they don't always have to be dead, and the mother role is being taken back in, not as a snarky busybody or anything like that, like Winifred from the Jungle Book, but instead it's normal, it's loving, and at the same time they need to be strict in order to get it through to you. And we learn stuff from our parents and their legacies. I might be reading into it a bit. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.